raw. Go hard like A-Day. It's game time like game day. I ball hard and clutch play. It's game time like game day. Now let the games begin. Now let the games begin. Now let the games begin.
So when I was a kid, I played outside all the time. I was playing basketball and volleyball, always involved in a sports. And my mom had like this thing she would hang clothes from, and I would practice the balance beam up to it, and then I would do what I now know is a bar muscle up on it. So I was always very fascinated with movement and exercise and just being busy and the human body.
For me, I've been raised in ministry my entire life. At age 15, I finally got a calling to ministry. And from what I thought that calling was being in a traditional church and preaching. And over time, I started realizing that there was so much more to ministry than just preaching on Sunday and doing Bible study on Wednesday.
I thought I wanted to be a journalist, but then I would realize there was something called exercise science, and I was like, oh, people study that? That's all the things I love. So it was a very clear choice that that's what I wanted to do.
I remember when I finished college, I was doing ministry in every facet that I could. I couldn't find a home church that would say, hey, we want you legitimately on staff. I'd hit rock bottom. I had my heart broken by people so many times that I was just done with ministry of the Lord. I was at a dark place in my life where I was like, I'm just done. I'm done. Here in the Cleveland area, there was a church camp meeting. I remember going to the church and I didn't feel connected to the people. And that was the most scary feeling as well. Because it was like, I know that I'm supposed to connect with the Lord, but I'm also supposed to connect with the people around me and the community of believers. And I didn't feel that connection. I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. I need to just get out of here. Got in my car and drove over to my gym. A brother of mine, Zach Gates, came up. He comes to me and he's like, something's wrong. Like, as soon as you open the door, this whole place got dark. Do you mind if I pray with you? And that was it. I connected with a brother while connecting with the Father because he was lifting me up in prayer. This is where God has called me to do. This is ministry.
I'm in college, like here I am, this very bubbly, energetic person, and then this trauma happens, right? And I'm sexually assaulted, and I feel like, I grew up in such a good home, so I felt like this shouldn't happen to me. I don't want to be in this position. I'm embarrassed to be in this position. I just shut down completely. I didn't talk about it. It took me years to talk about it. Honestly, I wanted nothing good for this person. I just genuinely hated him. I was just bitter. I just resented him. I resented being in that situation. I just resented everything about it. In my mind, there was no way there was going to be anything good to ever come from it. I'm trying to remember a concrete example of the first time I actually felt hopeful. Honestly, CrossFit was really the tool that helped me kind of fight my way back.
I remember going to CrossFit with two of my girlfriends. They were my road dogs at the time. And when we went there, they became good friends with Angela. And in the process of that, I started to kind of work out with Angela because they told me, hey, you should work out with Angela. She's really cool. Our friendship just began to grow, and it started to develop into a real relationship, and so we started dating.
And lo and behold, here we are years later, but so funny. Met at the gym, nonchalant, friends for a long time before we ever decided to start dating.
And come to find out, we found ourselves starting a gym, buying a building. And over time, I recognized that the ministry was there, that gym.
So driving around, find this building, and I was like, okay, this could be good. This might be okay. And James was like, do you know what this was? I was like, no, what was it? He's like, Used to be a strip club. I was like, what? We tell people all the time, we're like, this place has been transformed. It's just a hot mess for sure.
I haven't met a person who has come over there to do some kind of work on the building and them not say, oh, this is totally wrong. Whether it's electrical work, whether it's plumbing, because people are like, I don't know how you're able to like survive.
So 2020 hits and we're excited because we're like, we're gonna build onto our building, we're gonna renovate it, it's gonna look so good and professional, and we're excited. Then March happens and the pandemic happens and it just shuts everything down. So many people struggled with their mental health, whether they realized it or not, in that time in the pandemic. And so really being able to just focus on connecting with the people, that was so much more important. A building is gonna stand, it's gonna be there, but you have to foster that connection with your people, because what good is a building if you don't have people in it? And these are the people that we love. They've become truly family to us.
When CrossFit and Timate is at its best, it is honestly indescribable. When you have that environment of every person, from the coach to the newest athlete to the oldest athlete in the room, everyone is striving for their absolute best in that moment. Those things bleed out into your everyday life, because you know, hey, I already did this. I already did this really crazy hard thing, and I got through it, and I made friends by doing it. And so it really makes you feel like you can do anything. Outside of the gym, after I had my second child, I came home and I knew that James and Angela wanted to come and see the baby. And I was stressed about having people over because of the house, you know, all the things. I had a toddler and a new baby, and they came with food, and they brought into my home a very calm, accepting environment with them as they came in. It was something that, as I was in that period of kind of healing and not knowing what in the world I was doing as a mom of two now, I felt, you know, those things of, I felt seen and supported and loved. And it made me excited to get back to working out alongside of them, because those are the kind of people that I want in my family.
So the ultimate blessing is really about people who have some needs of a roof, siding, gutters, whatever it is that we offer. And they're saying, hey, despite my needs, I'm gonna put others first, and I'm gonna use whatever it is that I have to bless others. And then we wanna come in and say, listen, you've been putting yourself on the back burner long enough. It's time for someone to put you guys first. And then we come in and take care of them to help them be a better blessing to their community. We started filming these blessings. We were able to do bigger and bigger blessings because more and more people, when they saw it, they were inspired to be a part of this. So that's really what started what people today know as the ultimate blessing, was just that thought of inspiring more people to do good. This past ultimate blessing, James and Angela were nominated 3 different times. All 3 times I had turned down these submissions from these people who did not know each other, but I turned it down because I know James and Angela. I've known them for a while. And so immediately, just because of the fact that I knew them, I said, no, we're not gonna do it, no way. Until one day I go to the gym, and it's during the Open. It's an annual CrossFit thing that is held at all the local affiliates. And I'm there and I'm talking to James, and I'm just asking him what's been going on lately, and he tells me about these new programs that he's decided to go ahead and put forth. One of them's for foster kids, and it's free, and another one was for people who are struggling with addiction, and that was also free. And I looked at James and I said, James, I thought that you weren't going to kind of do some programs and stuff until you had your gym exactly where you wanted it. And James said, I'll be honest with you, people want to know that they're loved more than they care about what the gym looks like or more than what the building looks like. I want these people to know, I want these kids, I want everybody to know that they are loved and they have a place. And it was at that moment I was like, oh my gosh, like that is the epitome of the ultimate blessing.
Are you gonna coach?
Yeah, I'm a coach.
You're gonna coach?
Yeah, that's right.
I have a workout.
You gotta work out?
I have a workout. I'm very strong.
You are very strong.
You are very strong.
I'm Abby and Michael. And
This is a lot more cars than we're signed up for class. I've already cried. I don't even know what happened. Now what do we do?
We reached out several months ago and asked people if they knew of anybody at all that they knew were constantly blessing other people while putting their own needs on the back burner. And your guys' name came up multiple times. And James, I spoke with you, if you don't, probably several months ago, and I asked you your guys' vision for the place. And after you told me what you wanted to use this for and how many people you could help with this place, it was a no-brainer for us. So we teamed up with Best Buy Metal, and we're gonna completely renovate your entire building. We're gonna make it a safe, sound, and efficient place so that you guys can continually bless the community for years to come. So, we hope you guys enjoy the ultimate blessing. You deserve it.
Getting through anger and finding forgiveness is not easy. It's the pretty nice thing to say, but it's not easy. If I can find hope and forgiveness within myself, then I have to and want to believe that God can also touch his heart. Like, I want to believe that God can take whatever pain and heartache he was going through, and he can absolutely flip that around. And that forgiveness and getting to that place of really truly praying he is redeemed. I pray that, like, his story, he can now help people too, you know? And that's changed a lot of things, because when people come into the gym, I have to realize that they may be in his shoes, or they may be struggling with things that he did. But if I truly want to be the hands and feet of Jesus, that also means seeing people for more than just their mistakes or just their struggles, and seeing them for how Christ sees them, which is, I mean, he sees everyone as loved and worthy. So if there's hope for me, there's hope for that person too.